Good morning, this is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. Wow, what a day. Whew. Okay, right, so the markets were very, very volatile yesterday. Obviously, you've got the major geopolitical Russian war with Ukraine. Putin has effectively threatened France and said that what you've seen so far is nothing that could happen. He actually threatened Macron, and he's quite happy to widen the scale of the war if Europe interferes or the sanctions sanctions continue to hit hard as far as the European and the US is concerned. What does that mean? No one knows, anyone's guess, but my suspicion is that he's probably going to go next for Belarus, and I don't think he's going to stop at Ukraine. Just take that into account. As regards oil, wow, oil yesterday intraday hit $116 a barrel. That was US light crude at $116 a barrel, which was very, very, very expensive. That's the highest since 2011. The highest since 2011. So that is a significant jump. However, it came off from that level and closed at about $107 a barrel. The US Treasury yield jumped to 1.84%. So the price came down a little bit on the US Treasuries, just to let you know. So the yield jumped to 1.84%. That's because investors are demanding a higher yield at the moment. Take into account that cryptos also came off slightly yesterday, and overnight they came off a little bit more. So something to keep an eye on regarding the cryptos going forward. My suspicion is, and again, it's only a theory, that if Russia is seen or deemed to be pouring their reserves, monies into cryptos, it's a wild guess, I'm going to say it, Mayor Valensky is going to say that cryptos, Bitcoin, could be blocked if it's deemed or seen that Russia is a buyer of Bitcoin or the cryptos in order to bypass the sanctions. That could happen. Be aware of that. I know it's a far shot, it's a long shot bet. It's really a wild one. However, that could happen. Just be aware of that. As regards the trend, look at the markets. The trend is down. The trend on financials is down. The trend across the board on financial markets is down. Energy stocks are up. Wheat and barley and corn are just being limited up continuously on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So be aware of that, because what you've got is all the soft grains which are being produced by Russia and by Ukraine are going to be significantly affected. Just to be aware of that, okay? You're going to have oil going back up probably to $120 a barrel. The war's going to intensify. I'm not sure what Putin's long-term plan is with Ukraine, but I can bet you bottom dollar, I think the surrounding nations will be affected. There are rumors that certain armies, like in Romania, they've put the army on high alert. I just can't see him invading them at the moment, but the geopolitical map is changing on a daily basis, so be aware of that. As regards markets going forward, I think banks are going to be hammered. American Express was hammered on Wednesday, dropped down 8%, simply because it's seen as a major credit card and their future earnings in Russia could be affected. No joking, but the oligarchs are all holding American Express black card, so you can see their revenue dropping off. You've got Roman Abramovich selling Chelsea. You've got seizure of assets of the oligarchs around Europe and around the world. That'll have a major impact also on the flow of money. Don't underestimate, you're talking about tens of billions in assets being seized. You've got American banks with assets in Russia that have been frozen because they're holding Russian assets. Therefore, all those assets have been frozen. Going forward, how I see it, I see the market continuing volatility. I see the trend downwards. Okay, there will be opportunities to buy. I mean, you take things like Tesla. Tesla at the moment is looking particularly cheap or vulnerable, depends on which side of the market you are. At $810, you're probably looking to pick that up at about $700 a share. Tesla could become very popular if there is a growing crisis in oil. So things like electric cars could be something to look at. Boeing has stopped supplying all parts and planes to Russia, so Aeroflot's going to be one of the most dangerous airlines to buy into. That's more or less it on a global summary. So you've still got the geopolitical issues. The war's going to intensify. There's horrendous loss of life for no reason whatsoever. People are being blown up by the Russian army. It's very, very sad. It's tragic. We pray for them, but we're hoping that this will come to an end very, very shortly. And if you need to contact me on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp. I do Instagram also. I'd love you to subscribe and like the videos. This got as many people as possible. So summary, markets are going to trend down. Energy is going to trend up. Soft grains are going to trend up because of the crisis. And interest rates, inflation's continues to rise. Interest rates by the end of the year, in my opinion, are going to be between 5 and 5.5%. This is Mayor Walensky with Driving Markets. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.